Whoops. I thought you were empty, Chip. Oh god, you're not empty. Hello, everybody. Inventory full. Alright, so I wanted to redo Chip today, but I thought I emptied him out, but I think our good old gravity pump filled him back up, and I did not check him right now to see if everything was okay and good to go. That should do it. Nope, just still stuff in the connector. So we've got our 4 buffer cargo containers now, and I've got them, I moved all of our ore into them. So we've got one completely full of iron, we've got one 1/5 full of iron, and then all other stuff over here. We've got our refineries going, 2 doing uranium, the rest are doing platinum, with the exception of one of them who's doing gold. We're still waiting on this guy. I had them all doing platinum, but I know we're going to need gold too, especially if we want to make anything else in the meantime, because I think most of our gold is actually hung up in here for these guys. So we do need gold as well. Alright, so mods, guys. I know there's a sorting mod, but I don't want to use any mods at this time. So I don't know, I'm having fun with seeing what I can do with what we got to work with. So even though this is more primitive and the sorting mod would make my life a lot easier, I still prefer just messing around with this stuff for fun. What I want to try to do, I could continue hand chucking this through Chip, but why don't we let's free this piece of rock and see if we can send it down to our gravity thing there. It's currently off, so we don't have to worry about it being, otherwise it would probably be yanking this thing down. But let's just make it free. Excusey. I saw an explosion. I was like, what? Why? No explosion. So that's got to be a bug when it thinks you're hacking your own stuff, I assume. Seems kind of odd otherwise. Alright, that should do it. So yeah, we're just going to completely destroy Chip. Actually, we're going to destroy Chip, and we're going to destroy this thing as well. And I'm going to rebuild this thing, and then rebuild Chip. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn on the gravity. Did we even time it? There we go. So we could just trigger now. And that should block that, and send that smashing... Oh, no, it missed. What are you gonna do? I wasn't sure if it was gonna, like, plow through the armor. It still might. Whee! Oh, nicely done. Oh, yeah. Crumple zone. I'm glad it didn't take out the tube. Make your way back. Make your way back. There you go, buddy. Poof. Alright. It's in the system. And it shouldn't have gone past the connector. So power outages will mess up this. It will desync them. So that's kind of what I was talking about. I don't like using the toggle feature, because once something else interferes with that, such as the loss of power, then it messes up the relationship there, and then everything is off. So I might, I have an idea we can improve it a little bit with a few more timer blocks for redundancy, so at least if that happens, the next time we cycle this thing, it should correct itself. So we might look at that later. Okay, Chip, I believe we are good to get rid of the rest of you. Goodbye, you served us well. I mean, I've downloaded your consciousness onto a computer, and we will reinsert that into your new body shortly. Huh? Yeah, Chip. You won't be gone. You'll rejoin us soon. With a better body. Okay, so Chip is gone. We have our little thing remaining. We're going to get rid of him too, but I think we'll wait. Let's just build a new one to replace him. Let's get our bar ready with what we need. Okay. So a couple things I was thinking about. Are you done? You don't even exist anymore. Could you stop flashing? No? Oh, yeah. Okay. You good? You good? Okay. Okay? Okay. Alright. So what I was thinking. Originally I wanted to make the pivot point for the ship of our new coupling to be the same as where the projector block is. But I still want to use this block to build our ships off of with steel plates I don't have on me. And if I do that, the new ship that we create, whether we use the blueprint to do it or not, is going to have the blueprint of this guy, which currently is up here, I think. And I think that's all based off of where pivot point of Molar used to be, because I think he was built off of Molar, or off of Chip, and Chip was built off of Molar. So Chip got Molar's pivot point. This guy got Chip's, or Molar's as well. So what I'd like to do, this won't work exactly reliably for every ship we build. So the idea of this is a lot of my ships are going to have connectors on the back of them, a lot of the small ones, at least the utility ones, as they can all just back up. So if I create a pivot point ahead of this, so this guy's going to, if we create this guy's pivot point somewhere up here, and we aim to have that pivot point occupy the space of the projector of the ship we want to build. So that'll change depending on the length of our ship or where the projector block happens to be. So I think I'm just going to have it be about 10 blocks ahead, and the ship as we're building it may not be right up against the connector. If the ship is smaller, it will be a few blocks away, or depending, all variable to where the projector block will be in the ship. Okay, so to do that, what I think we should do is we'll use a small ship, and we could build this off of anything really. I guess we could just build it off of here. We just need a straight place to put it. And what do I need to place? You need construction components. Okay, let's grab some things. This guy's still hooked up. Alright, so we'll need some steel plates, construction. I don't know if we need interior. And there we go. Alright, so this will determine where our pivot point is. So I'd like the front to be towards this way. But because we're going to build the ship the other way around, we're going to pretend that this is where the projector block will be in the final ships that we're projecting. So really we're going to build it like that. Okay. So the green is front, blue is up, red is right. So we're going to build this coupling over here. So what I want to do is line up the center of the ship. So right in the middle of where the connector is going to be, that's where I want that green line to be. So we just have to build this back. And what I'm probably going to do, so if a connector is connected right here, that should be in the middle. So let's just travel back like 10-ish blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Something like that. Okay, and then we'll grab our connector, and we could have that facing that way. So that would be where this ship, our new little coupling ship, that's where its pivot point's going to be, and that's where we're going to, or that's where we want the pivot point of the new ships to be when we build them. So when this guy projects the image, it's probably, because it'll be centered on his projector block, which is probably going to be in the middle here. So it will be off in one direction, forward and back. But it should still line up left and right, and it should still rotate around that one point. So I think it'll work out. Originally I was going to put the pivot point of this ship in line with the projector, but I think this works out better. Okay. In terms of what this guy is going to look like, I kind of have a design that we're going to go loosely based off of. But because I want the projector block in the middle of the ship... hello? There we go. Because I want the projector in the middle of the ship, I'm going to do this little ziggy-zaggy around. And we're going to use a medium cargo container to give this guy a little bit of storage, so he could also be used as just a little mobile utility ship with some storage in him. So if we want someone to tag along with us to hold some extra parts, we could use him. So he's going to be similar, though, to the old one. So he's going to be mirrored, essentially. So connector on one end, we're going to put a connector on the other. Yoink. And that's about it. So then we're just going to armor him up. We're going to put some thrusters on him so he can maneuver. And I was going to give him a cockpit, or actually 2 cockpits, one facing both ways. But I think instead of doing that, we'll just use the remote control blocks. Alright, so in the interest of time, let me build this thing and get it ready. Okay, I think we got the starters of this guy going. At least most of his hull or outer shell. I think all of his thrusters. So we have, let's see here. We have 2 downwards that we can see right there. We might add more, I don't know. We have 2 sideways, so these 2 are facing out that way. And those are the ones we can see from the front. Those 2. Then we have 4 up. So thrust up, we have more power than thrust down, but that's okay. And then forward and back, we only have 2. So we might try to fit some more in somewhere. I'm not too sure. Maybe up top. And then, yeah, I don't know. I put this M on it, for obvious reasons. Morilibus. Yay! I thought it looked kind of neat as well. And originally I hadn't painted it, so it was all white. So I like this green, just kind of came up with it, fiddling around with the palettes. But yeah, that's what it is, in case you're interested. Started off with the base green and just kind of fiddled with it. I do like the color green. Okay, so what this thing doesn't have yet Is a gyro, so we can turn it around. Doesn't have an antenna. Doesn't have any of the other nice things. Oh. Hi, Tortwing. I didn't see you up there. Okay. So we need reactors. We might give it 2 directly hooked up to the conveyor. But we'd need 1 to be exposed. So I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Now that I think about it, we might just want to make 1 reactor exposed. I don't know how much power this thing's going to need. So why don't we put those there for extra or what have you. It would have been nice if this cargo had a hatch there, because I could have put a reactor right in the middle, but I decided to put the hatches on the outside so that if we did want to use this for a little storage thing, we could access it through there. I mean, even though we could technically access it through here too. But anyway, it created this by wanting access to that. It forced me to make that M, or it made me make that M. Alright, why don't you weld that then while we're waiting? Thank you. And I will put a sensor on that guy so that we can't die from him. I just haven't gotten around to it. I actually want to give him a few sensors, so we'll probably put them all in at the same time. As far as gyros go, I don't think we need more than 1. So let's we'll have 1 facing towards our pivot point, I guess. And then in the middle here is where we want that projector block, I believe. But we need a block to place it on. So we might just put in some filler blocks. But what else did we want? We wanted a remote block. We want a sound block. We could put a couple sound blocks. Oh, they don't connect directly to that. Why don't we put 1 there, 1 there, in case we want to use them. Why don't we put some timer blocks in too, in case we want to use those. So we'll put 1 on either side. And if we put a couple more, for whatever reason, I don't know if we'd need those. Okay, so here's our projector block. Up, we want the plus. The minus is the front, so we want that facing towards the green. So we're going to do that. Yoink. Of course, when we project, I think a blueprint, it's going to center around that guy. But that has the same orientation as that, which should mean we just have to displace things forward, hopefully, if I didn't screw that up. Okay, on top of there, we'll probably put 2 remote blocks so that we can drive this thing in either direction. I don't want to get too carried away because this guy is terrible at welding, and I could add more arms to this guy or give him more welders. But I think the point is that this thing should not be slower than a hand welder, right? Like 1 large welding thing that occupies, what, over a cubic meter is slower than something that I can hold in my hand. So I assume this is just balancing things, and it will be taken care of. I don't want to compensate right now by just having more welders to do the same amount of work that one of them should be able to do, I guess. So I'll just cripple myself until they fix it, I suppose. But yeah, appreciate the suggestions anyway. But yeah, that's why I haven't added any more onto him. I'd rather keep him looking the way he does than just create more welders for more efficiency. I always sacrifice efficiency for just looks. I consider this game kind of a role-play-ish. Like, I'm not just trying to get stuff done as easy or as quickly as I can. I kind of almost do a little role-playing in it. So in this, we're kind of step-by-step creating things, kind of slow and steady. We could most definitely increase our production. A lot of it's dependent on waiting on parts right now, but I mean, it could be done. But I kind of like this pace, and it's, yeah, kind of a bit of a roleplay aspect to it for me as well. Alright, so that'll give us our projector, our gyro. So with the remote blocks, we'll have access to it. So we're going to want some cameras. Let's see where we could put those. I mean, we could put it right here, but it would probably get smashed off as soon as we try to park. So it's probably going to be up top here. We'll put maybe a cap on top of all this stuff, and maybe we'll put the cameras on the outside of it somewhere. So let's see here. That's the reactor. We probably want to cover up the reactor, to be honest. So we could do that, and then we'll get that looking a little bit better once we put the cap on. And then our camera orientation that way. Yeah, okay. And then we'll armor around that. So we could do just that, even. Then we have these nice little triangles. Sure. And then we'll bring this probably straight back. Or maybe we'll go up with it. I don't know if that would be too much. Rotate. Oh, that might not look too bad. And we'll see. If we do that, we can possibly add some more thrusters at this level. With this triangle piece, we wouldn't be able to put it in this level, though. So up there, that would mean we'd have to go even higher. I don't know. We might just stick with 2 thrusters. We could also try to squeeze a thruster down here somewhere. We could hide it maybe right behind this block, facing this way. It would kind of wreck this little bevel thing we have going. You're not supposed to be gray. You fool. Okay. Good. Wait, is that supposed to be gray? It is, but it's missing a piece of armor in front of it. There you go. Are you done, Tortwing? Are you done? Doesn't sound like you're done. Just taking breaks now and then. Alright, well, let me finish what we got going, and let's lay the last little things in there and see if we can put a cap on them. Let me in, please. A little closer. What about right there? Oh, got it. Left. Oh, I got it. It's faster this way. Shh. Okay, okay. Well, there we go. I think that's all the components we need, other than a reactor that exposed outwards. So we'll probably put that somewhere in the middle. Alright, let's just sketch. You need steel plate. Of course I do. I've also got some random stuff being made in A3. The rest are just constantly making steel plates and construction components. Looks like our thrusters are finally done. So we can hopefully convert that guy into a ship soon. Nothing's really stopping us now. Okay, so what do? One on top of the reactor. Okay. And then straight back. Nope. Up and straight back. Okay. Let's get that on there. Rotate the right way for me. Okay. And then we are doing all of that little triangle thing. Nope, wrong button. Oh, okay. So if we want an external reactor, I was thinking we just put it right here in the middle, either like that or possibly recessed by one. And then we could bevel that a bit. Like so. And then it's just a matter of chewing on your own tongue. Merging these two. Trying to combine mix and merge. Those are not equivalent words. So we could either bring it straight across like that. Really? I'm out of steel plates again? How many did I grab? 2? Oh, I grabbed interior plates, didn't I? Steel plates, sir. You are out of steel plates. This is not Tortwing. It's like, how can you be out of steel plates? Come on. Come on. Oh, wow, you got a lot in there. How about we trade? You take some of those. Okay. Take all of them. Sure. Take all of those. I'll take 10 back. Really wish you could move one item. Really, really wish you could do that. Okay. Okay. Well, that kind of might look interesting because it's got like a double M thing. If we keep this thing looking like that. But it looks kind of odd. It's like a hump. But it's not as angular as this guy. So it doesn't look as good. So maybe we should... Yeah, I'd kind of like to move that camera back a block. We'd expose the reactor with that, though. Which might not be bad. The reactors kind of look kind of neat. Like, he looks kind of cool. So what if we do that? We could do even... No, we want a straight bit, so we can put the camera on. And rotate. There we go. So we could do that. That might not look too bad, and it gives a little green light when it's on, at least. Not right now, obviously. So if we do it that way, do we want to just merge this? Because I think that might not look all that great if I just went like this. we're going to get this line that's going to form there because these blocks don't have a connecting block, so they're not physically connected. So we keep that little gray line. I don't know if that looks good or not. It might be okay if we paint it a different color. So if we paint the top like gray, that could work. Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Okay, why don't we do that? We could bring this guy out to meet up. Keep it gray. And go across. We need to keep that open for the thruster. Then we can wrap it back. Okay, I'm okay with that. Oh, there's a hollow spot down there. So we could actually put a block there if we really wanted to get rid of that. But, okay. Alright, so we do that, and then when we get to here, we could do something like that, even though it doesn't quite line up. I think it keeps this angular thing going that we got. And then, I don't like you. I hate you. Looks a bit better over here, but that definitely doesn't need to be like that. I mean, technically we don't need that at all. We could just do that. That might be better, actually. I think so. I think I like that better. So we'll just bring that straight across, and then we'll fill it in. And I think I'll put blocks under here anyway, just so we don't get that little gap. I was going to put angle blocks, but I guess there's no benefit. They both take one steel plate anyway. And I'd use Tortwing, but he's just too slow torting. He's good at doing multiple blocks or just leaving them there. But if you're in a hurry, can't rely on him for anything. Don't kill me. Just looking in here, if we really wanted to, we could move that reactor that's up there underneath all this stuff, so he wouldn't even be visible. So if we don't like him being visible, we could change it. But I think I like it. It might look neat from the camera too, if you could see it partially. Alright, while Tortwing finishes that last little bit for us, let's grab some uranium. And I stocked up our reactors, so they got 26 in them roughly. I let them just pull in a bunch of uranium on their own there for a bit, and then I shut it off. So what do we have? We can grab from here. And do we have any stored anywhere? Small reactor, small reactor. Well, that might be it. It might all be in our reactors. Oh, there's a bit more there. I don't need that much, though. Why don't we put that in there, and then we'll take... let's take 3 units. Even that's a lot, but we'll do it anyway. Too late. It's done. Are you done? Did you do it? Are you a champion? You might be done. Alright, so let's give this guy a bit of power to start. And now he should be self-sufficient. So we should be able to get rid of this and just let him fly. Looks like I am out of space. Whee! Fine. 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 Delay. Don't need those anymore, or those, or probably computers. Just keep the steel plates. Alright, give me those. Thank y'all. There we go. And that guy just needs one more piece. Rotate it properly. There we go. And I think he's supposed to be green. Is he? He is. Alright, I think that's good. Why don't we turn off that welder before I kill myself again? I mean, for the first time ever? Okay. He's done. He doesn't have a cockpit though, so our only means of using him is going to be to remote control into him. So we should be able to get rid of this, and his pivot point's going to stay there, I think. Yes? It's like, why does that look off? But I guess he kind of rotated. Alright. The remaining of the reactor. Remainder... Man, I can't speak today. Remainder of the uranium. That's implying that I can normally speak. Okay. There we go. That should fill up these guys on their own, and we can see they're now green, so that's good. So to use him, he's currently small ship 3697. Okay. We will call him M, I don't know, M coupling for now. He's got an M on him, and he's our new coupling. Sure. And we can rename him here. The M coupling. Good enough. And then from here, we're going to, whenever we want to use him, we're going to have to just remote into one of his remote controls, and we'll designate which one is which. So if we do that one, that's the one facing towards. So that's actually the one we probably want to be the front. So we will designate him the front, and that one the rear. And then, how about our cameras? That is our rear camera. That was camera 2, correct? Camera, rear, and I'll go through and rename these a little bit better at the end. Get that all organized off camera. Oops. They can't both be rear. God. Okay, front. Front is front. All right. So we can see we have our hotbar. Do we get that? We get that when we just remote in, don't we? Remote, front, control. Yeah, we get a hotbar here. So from here, I want to put our projector stuff. So I would probably do projector on, off, and then I'll go through and put all these things on like I did before. Usually I just start at the end here and do whichever one we want, decrease offset, and work my way up. Okay, so there we go. So now we should be able to do that. So let me load up our blueprint that we're going to be using. Say sneak peek. We don't have time to do it today, but we can work on it for the next episode. And we'll just create a way of building him relatively quickly. So we probably won't use Tortwing for that because he's just too slow. Okay, so we got our projector block on. And what page are we on? We're on page 2. What's that going to do? It's going to rotate. Don't want to rotate. He's already perfectly okay. All we should have to do is displace him. So we can see he's centered on the projector block of the M coupling. If I look over there. And when I built him, I made sure his pivot point was in line with his own projector. So when he is said and done and built, whenever we use his projector on his onboard projector, it should line up directly with his ship without us having to play around with that. Okay, so our first ones were displacement. That's up and down. Or no, that's left and right, it looks like. That's up and down. And forward. So what ideally what I want to do is that. But I don't know if we actually gave ourselves enough room for that. Let's exit out of that for a second. And let's take a look. Yeah, that's not quite enough room. So that's not really a big deal. It means his pivot point, or his projector will be, I think, slightly off. I believe. I'm not too sure, actually, right now that I'm thinking about it. It's hard to remember which, if the pivot point stays, but his pivot point for his ship is going to be whichever one we see here that is for that guy. So ideally, we want that to line up with his projector block, but I'm not sure where that is. I think it's right where it is currently, but we got to push him forward a little bit more so we could actually build him. So that's okay. I should have put this pivot point further out, but really it all depends on the ship we're building, and not really a big deal when it comes down to it, I don't think. Alright guys, but that is who we are building in the next episode. He's to replace Chip. He's just got a little bit more style to him. And I think actually we don't actually have to put drills on him. We could re-equip him with something else, and he could be repurposed for something else. Something else he could be repurposed for. I should say that he could be repurposed for something completely different. Repurposed? Okay. Anyway, guys, we are done for today. Who are you? Is that the... Oh, that's... Is that the grab ball? Yeah. Grav. Okay, guys. Anyway, there's our new ship. And this will be another new ship for next time. In the meantime, I will probably get rid of this guy. And yeah, see you then. Bye-bye.